going on, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It Real Estate with me, your host. I'm Sara Delansig at Sara underscore the underscore ISA on most socials. At Sara Delansig on Facebook. And today we are talking about how to get out of a sales slump for your real estate business, which actually is a highly requested topic that I haven't covered yet. So I want to give some advice on it because I was just telling Autumn before this, I'm coming out of a slump of my own. And we all go through this sometimes, right? So I want to teach some lessons that I've learned and use some examples. But first, since we are still letting some people in, I have a song that I really, really like that just popped up on on my feed somehow. And the song is by a guy named Abel Hart. And this song is called Let the Money In, and it's tuned to 888 hertz, which is, I guess, the frequency of money, I think. And so I'm going to try to play it. It's not going to, like, if you're watching the video live with me right now, it probably won't go with the words very well, but I tried to put on the caption so you can kind of see what it is. Oh, yeah, Allison, you know who it is. Okay. So I was trying to decide between Let the Money In or Magnet, because there's another one that goes like, I'm a magnet.
Yeah, he's kind of viral. Yeah, on social media.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love. Yeah, he has this funny like thing he did for his hair.
Bouncy hair. Yeah, yeah. And he
Oh,
wants
I have it.
yeah, he wants to raise the vibration of everyone and help. Yeah, he's really, yeah,
I love it.
interesting. But yeah, I like it.
I know, right? Okay, so let's play this song. It's just a couple minutes while we let people in, and then also gives us a minute to think about what we're gonna focus on here. So.
In order to manifest it, you must speak it into existence. Okay.
I let the money in, I let the money flow. I take my time, see my bank account grow. I let the money in, I let the money flow. Bringing up on this, got me feeling grateful. I take my time, see my bank account grow. The money in, I let the money flow. But my eyes on the shows.
I'm just living life right now, yeah. I see the money coming, energy is flowing, and I'm up in. Look at my life like. Too bad I'm too fast to flick of the wrist. Too in, I'm focused, fulfill my wish. All about the journey, it don't need to be quick. I just speak it out now, sound something like this.
I let the money in, I let the money flow. I take my time, see my bank account grow. The money, I let the money flow. In upon this, got me feeling grateful. The money flow. I take my time, see my bank account grow. The money flow. Lost and shows.
Money is the freedom to choose. Pay my dues. I don't worry, ain't nobody that can fill up my shoes. I've been on the move, got my feet in the groove. Then I'm picking up the pace, going like my fuse. Take a little bit of this, mix a little bit of facts. If you're being negative, what you are, you attract. You ain't never heard of this, living in the matrix. Go ahead and just listen up.
I let the money in, I let the money flow. I take my time, see my bank account grow. The money in, I let the money flow. In upon this, got me feeling grateful. I let the money flow. I take my time, see my bank account grow.
Okay, so that's the gist of it. I'm going to stop it there because last time I accidentally had it keep playing in my ear for a second. Oh, let's stop this shit. All right, so yes, we're going to talk about how to get out of a sales slump. For my research for this topic, I was shocked. There is not a lot out there. So I went on YouTube and searched up, how to get out of a real estate sales slump. And 2 videos came up, and the first one I watched had 29 views on it, and it was 3 years old, which was a 3-minute video. I think it was by someone called like the Big Agent Network or something like that. It was a pretty good video, but it's only 3 minutes. And then the second one I watched was longer and had more info, but not as much as I'm going to share today. So, and that one was by Brandon Renee. Brandon, he's a coach, but yeah, I follow him, and he does real estate sales coaching. So I got some of this from that, so I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Now, the first thing that everybody's going to bring up, and which I always love to harp on, if you know me already, is mindset, because mindset is 90% of your success, your sales. It's like completely related to whether or not you're going to be successful in this business and whether you're going to be able to follow through and put the action behind your beliefs. So, one of the things that Brandon brought up is that if you believe that you are in a sales slump, then you may act desperately. And so it's like this circle that goes around. So your belief, okay, the market is bad. Let's just say you doom scroll, which you should not be doing, by the way. I hardly look at the news. The only time I really know what's going on is if there's some kind of emergency notification on my Alexa, which is now going to listen to me. Sorry. And then, or something like that. And then if I swipe left on my iPhone, then there's some top news things, but a lot of it has to do with my Seahawks because that's what I care about and what I click on. So, but one of the things that I do want to bring up is please do not doom scroll. Don't buy into all this. The market is crashing. Oh my God, what are we going to do? It's the worst market ever. Da, 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 da. If you go to real estate events like I do, you may hear this over and over and over again, and you may start to believe it, which is something that actually happened to me. And I was hearing from all these big people, these big names on stage about, oh, any day now the market's going to crash. And then that can come through in the way that we feel about things when we're making our follow-up calls or when we're checking in with people. And then we can start to attract that and have people panic. So that is one thing that I want to say first off, right off the bat, is try not to let outside factors. And another thing is, like, I go on a lot of podcasts and I was shocked at how many like big names in the business will reinforce these ideas that it's a real shitty market. I was going to say crappy, but it's a real shitty market. Okay. It's like people are reinforcing these ideas and I'm like, that's not my experience over here. Like, hello, I let the money in, I let the money flow. I watch my bank account grow. Okay. At least that's what I'm trying to focus on and not on the things that are like, oh, all the money, every prices are going up and everything is falling apart. And oh my God, like you have to focus on the good things. So that is where I want to start because like I said, 90% of this is your mindset. So, number one, you want to use the time when you're in a sales slump to diagnose the cause, not the symptoms, but the cause. Really look at what is causing this. Did you gain some success and momentum and then you took your foot off the gas? And now, because anybody that has been in real estate for a period of time should know that you build a pipeline of business and that business sustains you. And if you let your foot off the gas because you gain some success, then all the work that you did all the work that you're doing now is going to later on catch up to you if you stop. So you have to keep going, right? I'm not saying you have to kill yourself or anything like that or like overwork yourself. I'm just saying that like don't let your foot off the gas and try to determine what's really going on and really look at the numbers because it may not be as bad as you think it is too. Okay, so if you determine that I am actually in a sales slump and I need to get out of said slump, then this is a time to embrace it as an opportunity. Maybe you don't normally have the time to really look at your finances. Maybe you don't normally have the time to analyze your CRM campaigns. Maybe you don't normally have the time to check in with past clients or something like that, right? So use it as an opportunity for growth and reset and like to adjust any of the things that may have been on the back burner for a while, right? So that's a good way to start. Okay. Practicing gratitude and visualization, doing not manifestation, affirmations, that sort of thing, setting your intentions for what you want to achieve in your business as it picks up. So focusing on the things that you want, not on the things that you don't have or on the things that you are upset about. Because the more you focus on the things that you don't like, the more you're going to attract them. Okay. So number 2 is going to be education and skill building. So you can take the time to educate yourself, which you should be doing all the time anyway. You should be reading books. You should be attending podcasts like this. You should be learning from others, but take what resonates with you. Don't take everything just because you may be only 5 years in the business and there's somebody up there with 25 years of experience telling you that you should batten down the hatches and just wait until the hurricane is over or whatever, right? So really, they're not in every market. They don't understand what your situation is. They understand their own situation and they're speaking from their own situation, right? So don't let everything in that does not resonate. So only listen to the things that actually resonate, take the advice that you can take, learn from it, and make the most out of it. Study your own market trends, study your own, your own client retention rates and things of that nature. And then you can also take this time to practice scripts, objection handling, and just stay sharp in conversations. Because how many people need to be involved in a sale, right? At least 2. So there have to be conversations back and forth. Real estate agents don't like to get on the phone or something like that. And not necessarily you have to get on the phone right away. You could text message and things of that nature. But use ChatGPT as a resource if you need to practice some scripts, if you need to learn how to handle some objections. And for me personally, I don't work like handling an objection depends on the situation. If somebody's like F off, I'm not going to handle that objection. I'm going to, all right, you have a wonderful day too, right? Like I'm not going to go there and try to convince that person that it's a good idea for me to come take a look at their home. I don't think that we would get along in the first place. And I don't really want to work with somebody that's going to talk to me like that. So understand when to push and when not to. Okay. Number 3 is redo your marketing and your branding and figure out what works for you. Your marketing, your branding, maybe it's outdated. Maybe you need to get updated headshots, right? Looking at some of you agents that have not updated headshots and you don't look anything like your headshot anymore. So there's a lot of opportunity to rebrand, remarket, and try to put something fresh out so that you can get more eyeballs on it. Okay, and you can also create a schedule for content, your social media, blogs, newsletters, all these things. Like obviously, we all know ChatGPT is a beautiful tool that we can all use, that we can put our own voice to and learn from and update. You can revamp your listing presentation. You can practice and record your listing presentation. One of the things that I was learning about with public speaking, because I speak at some of the events, and I was super nervous at first. There was a guy that's like, one of the things you need to do is record yourself. And then the first thing you need to do is listen to it, but don't watch it. Then watch it with the sound off and just watch your body language and see if you're, if you come across friendly, right? Watch it with the sound off, watch it, and then don't watch it at all. Just listen to the sound and then watch it all together and give your own feedback on, would I work with this person? So you could record your own listing presentation and determine those things as well, which I think is a really cool idea. All right. Yeah. And, tone of voice and hand signals and eye contact and all of that stuff helps. Okay. Number 4 is going to be networking and relationship building. So you can reach out, like I mentioned before, reach out to past clients, check in with them, ask for referrals. Do it in a way that doesn't come across needy, because if you're going to be in that cycle that we were talking about earlier, where you believe that you're in a slump, so you act like you're in a slump, so then people, react to you and then treat you differently, then you're going to keep going around in this circle. So when you believe something and you put actions behind it, then you're actually putting that out into the world, and that's what you're going to attract. So it's really about your belief and about your mindset is what it really comes down to. So if other people are feeling the pressure because you really, really need a sale and you're pushing for that listing appointment or something like that, then it's probably not going to turn out in your favor, because you're probably going to come across that way. So practice these things, make sure that you're not going into the cycle like that. Okay. You can collaborate with other professionals. I know every agent has a list of stagers, photographers, videographers, lenders. Like we all have our network of people that we rely on, and you just never know what might be there, So grab the low hanging fruit and see if you can make those connections, see what's out there with some of those people, and just attend local community events, right? Like attend your local small business associations and things of that nature. And if anyone here is like, oh, I don't have a sphere of influence, I just moved to this area, like you have hobbies, right? You have things that you're interested in. I just started candle making and all kinds of things. And so I joined a bunch of Facebook groups to learn how to make candles and do all that sort of thing. And there's all kinds of meetups and things that you can meet other people. So if you have hobbies, use those, utilize those. I did have a client one time. She was a waitress in the evenings and an agent during the day. And she had a hard time using that platform as a waitress to help her real estate business. And I think she just felt like it was pushy or something like that. But if that was me, I would totally be using it as an opportunity when it arose, not pushing it on anybody. But yeah. Side note on that, because I saw a post recently. Someone's like, I need to get a side job as a real estate agent. And some other agent posted and said, good, we don't need agents like you anyway. If you need a side job, then you're not a very good agent. Okay. I just want to address this really quick. That is so uncalled for, first of all. And that agent who said that, give me a break. Like, just don't be that agent, please. I don't know who it was. I didn't see their name. I'm not calling anybody out. But if you were one of those people that's like, good, we don't need you, like, please don't. Like, that's just spreading negativity. And we don't need to do all that. So let's lift each other up. Every single person on earth needs a home, right? So it doesn't, like, there's not too many agents. It's all about perspective here. Okay. And every person resonates differently with a different agent. Not everybody's going to be for me. Not everybody's going to be for you. We're all different. Okay. So I think this is number 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Number 5 is business systems and organization. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but you can clean up your CRM and your database. You can, try separating the contacts that you have in your database. Like look at the last 90 days of activity and then look at the future 90 days of activity. Like who's coming into your pipeline? Who should you be talking to? Who's been looking at homes? That sort of thing. So you can kind of organize this in that way so that you can focus on the hotter, quote unquote, people. And then one thing I will say too is back to mindset. When you're doing this, don't hope that they don't answer the phone or respond to you or something like that. Like it really envision, take 3 big deep breaths and envision what it's like if they answer and they just fall in love with you. And it's like they're your perfect client and, you have so much in common and they're going to be as smooth as can be, right? Like it's going to be like just this magical thing. So when you do that, you very much do attract it. I, myself, like I talked about, I've had 2 kinds of slumps recently. Well, one was over a year ago, but that was more related to, like I said, I was attending these real estate events and everybody else was saying, oh, it's such a terrible market and you can't close online leads. And the majority of what I do as an ISA is calling online leads. And so it started to impact me to believe that maybe they weren't as hot as I thought they were. And then in turn, I lost and I was pretty upfront with my clients. And I was like, I don't know if this is working, and so I lost a bunch of clients because my belief had changed and my belief affected what was coming out of it. And I couldn't in good conscience have my clients paying for something that I no longer believed in. Right. So I had to get my faith back in that. So that was one thing where, and the best way to get out of it is to have a win. And the best way to have a win is to believe that it's out there. So that is one slump that I went through. And more recently, this is a recurring topic for me, a fear of growth. Because I fear the restrictions of growth. I fear the like having a whole team rely on me, which I have a team, but having to hire more and then the fear of like being screwed over by people or having their negativity seep into me. So I recently had somebody I thought was a really great fit. This was back in November of 2023. And so I had her for 8 months, and I thought it was a great fit, but slowly, things deteriorated, and there was like you just see the true colors underneath it all, is what I'm trying to say. And it started impacting me, the negativity, the jealousy, the things that were coming my way. It was really hard for me to handle. I learned massive lessons through that experience. One is team leaders don't share too much. I thought I was doing a good thing by sharing, all of the stuff, but realistically, that just made this person jealous of me, or made them think that I had more money than I did to pay them more, or something like that, right? Like, so don't share too much with your team. It's not always a good thing. So that is one lesson that I learned. Another thing that I learned is that you really need to get to know somebody before you really let them into your space to impact your energy and things of that nature. So I have a more rigorous onboarding and hiring process and that sort of thing now. So because somebody can kind of fake who they are for a little bit, but they can't do it for, like a week or 2 weeks. So but yeah, that like having to go through that really turned me off onto like actually growing my business and all of that again. So that was a slump that I've come to realize, like, I have to grow. I have to get out of my comfort zone. It's not fun being in a comfort zone. There's no excitement. Every day is the same. So, and I want to impact people. So it's not really healthy for me to continue to hold back on this. So I have to kind of release it every day. I'm not going to lie. I have to be like, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm excited to do this. I'm looking forward to doing this. Right. So, and I am when it's right with the right people. But that fear of like getting another lemon has held me back. So that's that. Okay, so we were on business and systems organization, which I went down a tangent, but regardless, you guys understand what I'm saying. So you can automate repetitive tasks. That's always good. Automating repetitive tasks. Make sure that you're doing it in your own voice if it's like an AI thing, or if you're hiring somebody to create campaigns for you or something like that. Just make sure that what you are putting out there represents you, your branding, your marketing, your voice, okay? Your beliefs. And then we have financial management, which we kind of went over already, but review your budget, cut any unnecessary expenses. A lot of us have expenses that we may not even realize that we're paying for. Like I have Zapier, and I had a whole lot more clients using Zapier that I was paying for my business. And we could cut down, probably save $100 a month kind of thing, because I didn't need as many tasks. And Zapier recently did something where they cut down the number of tasks, gave you more free stuff. So that was really cool. So when you have a little bit of a slump, quote unquote, then you can really analyze the things and where your money is going. And sometimes it's really what you need. Sometimes the universe gives you exactly what you need. And another little side tangent that I'll bring up, when you are on the right track, when you are doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, everything kind of aligns. There's a lot of synchronicity in your life. And what I mean by that is, like, if I'm like sitting here making calls and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I think I'm done for the day. But something in my gut tells me, hey, wait, just make 5 more calls. And then I listen to it. And then on that 5th call, I end up setting a listing appointment. That listing appointment turns into an actual closing, and then I get paid for it, right? Like, that's pretty cool, right? So had I not listened to it, then just left, I would have missed out on that opportunity. I wouldn't have known that, but because I listened to it, then I know. And then it makes it reinforces the behavior for the next time to listen to said intuition. I think as agents, we have to be really intuitive, especially with our business and our line of work. As women in the industry, we need to listen constantly to our intuition so that we're not putting ourselves in a situation that is dangerous. Flat out, right? Sometimes you get that call from that guy or that text from someone, and you can just feel it's off right away. Trust that. Okay, trust that. All right. So create a saving strategy for future slow seasons. So make sure that you know what you will do. There is always going to be some kind of up and down with real estate. We all know that this is the busy season and it's, going up and up and up. And then it'll stay that way until the end of summer pretty much. And that's when agents kind of kick back and go on their vacations. And then that's when I'm like ramping up thinking what's going to happen next year? What are we going to do? Like, what's our budget look like? Where are we going to go from here? What ads do we want to put out? What kind of marketing? All the things that we just talked about. Okay. All right. And this is kind of like to come full circle. The very last thing is self-care and rejuvenation, which will help your mindset. Okay. So to bring it all together here. Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes agents work too much, and they can really burn themselves out. This is actually a real concern that I have working with some of the top teams and things of that nature. I don't want to say too much here, but like I can see them just striving so hard to achieve their goals that some things get left in, on the back burner that shouldn't be left on the back burner, or they end up thinking in a not great way because now they're like, well, I could get this done, I could get this done, I could get this done. And that can turn them into not the most fun person. And also it's not good for their health. So when I see this, I mention it. And that's me and I'm comfortable with that. But if you are the agent that is working too hard, not spending enough time with your family, not giving yourself a break, or your breaks are real estate events, which are just getting your wheels turning again, like maybe that's not the best thing. Maybe you need to take a step back, and be okay with that. Like, be okay with taking days off. I had to take a day off yesterday, had a migraine. I always feel terrible for it, but it happens. We got to take some time off. And now I'm back and I'm refreshed and I'm ready to go. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do and analyze it though. Like, not like every week, like, oh, every week I'm taking multiple days off or something. Obviously, normal days off. Okay. Take a break to rest, reflect, and avoid burnout. Invest time in hobbies, travel, and wellness practices. Like I said, I got into candle making recently. Also kind of scary because the groups I joined are like, this is so hard. I'm trying not to let that in, but also use the caution as a way to prepare better. But yeah, hobbies are great. You're going to be able to meet other people in said hobbies that need to sell real estate. So it doesn't hurt to join a hobby to try to learn about other things. I tried my hand at making a room spray and it isn't what I wanted. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but I'm going to try again. I have an intention oil that I made, which Alice and I will totally send you the thing that I'm working on, but it's not quite done yet. I have to make the candles and I have to make some other stuff, but I'll send it to you. So yeah, invest in your hobbies, invest in the things that make you happy. If real estate is not making you happy, then maybe it's not the best thing for you. It really should feel like you're not working, but you're getting paid to do something you love. And that is the goal for every single person on the planet. Like, we should all feel that way. And if real estate feels too much like work for you, I would say analyze it and see if you can get back to a time when it didn't feel that way, or if you can outsource or automate or delegate or something like that, tasks that are making you feel that way. And then, and if it's still just too much, then maybe find something that you are more passionate about, which can be scary. But like I said, when you are on the right path, the doors open on their own. You're not having to go chase things down. So things should just kind of flow naturally when you're attracting the right thing and in the right mindset. So that was the last one, which is reconnect with your why. Stay inspired and motivated. So I keep it right in front of me. My why, why I do this. Real estate was not my first choice for a career, to be honest with you. I was going to school to teach psychology to high school students, and suddenly I'm here and this is what I'm passionate about and this is what I do. So I hope it's helpful for all of you, and I hope that you guys can find your why if you've lost it, and then take some time to really focus on that and give yourself a lot more time to set intentions, set the goals, and focus on them. So hopefully that was helpful. If anyone has any questions, you know where to find me. This has been Keeping It Real Estate with me, Sara Delansig. See y'all later. Bye.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.